time the saints enter into the upper rooms of the stars. We are claiming the positions from a place of rest so that we can inherit the great thing that has been bestowed upon us. What is this great thing? What is this great mystery? Crossing into the inheritance purchased for us by Jesus Christ through the water and star realm. Right now, the inheritance has been given. The price has been paid. There was no misunderstanding with the saints who gathered after Christ was crucified, because they had the report he had already been risen from the dead. Christ has already risen in the celestial realm. The second cross, the seat of the stars, has been taken and purchased by Christ. And we, by faith, know that it's been completed. So we're remaining in our rooms, our celestial chambers, the upper rooms of the stars, gathered as one. Just as the 120 were in their upper room, waiting patiently, praying, communing. But there was no dire cry. They knew the work was already completed. They were in rest and patient. They knew the inheritance was already theirs. And like the 120 who were in the upper rooms then, there are today the 12 who are in the upper rooms of the constellations. Positioned and seated in their righteous place, waiting for the outpouring for the sake of the 144,000. Letting the power of God do the work. And that's what they received. What was the inheritance of the 120? The power of God resting on their very heads as a crown. A tongue of fire, a language to release the glory that has transpired. That's why it's a complete resting from the works. The works that are not manifested from the glory are fruitless anyway. We only want to do the fruitful works. And so that's what we continue to do. Keeping our eyes focused on that mission, on that mandate, in a place of rest, but still being positioned where the Father has asked us to be positioned. There's a very strict and a very important position. A positioning of the saints over the land for them to inherit the good thing. We might ask, well, why would that even matter? I know, but it matters because He's ignited a few, the remnant, with the way He's chosen to position them and the way He's chosen to have them move on His board, planet Earth. So there's no mystery in what's taken place. But yet there's the greatest mystery of all. What a conundrum. It's fascinating, really, to be able to touch this kind of glory. Do you know that that's all it really takes for full inheritance? Truly just touching this glory. Think of the woman with the issue of blood. If I could just touch this garment, I'll be made well. Just the hem. And by faith, she touched the garment. What did Jesus say? Who touched me? He knew. How did he know his garment was touched? What did she touch the garment with? It's completely clear, but it's also a divine mystery. Amazing. Wow. That really messed me up, God. That was so fun. So that's what we're doing. We're touching the hem of his garment in the stars. We're reaching up our hands and we're touching this glory. Because it doesn't matter how many have crowded around Jesus and acted as though they could receive something from him. What they've truly received is just the appearance of being surrounded by Jesus, but actually not touching the garment. But we, the wounded bride remnant, with the issue of blood, have reached out our hands and touched the garment, inheriting the true thing. It's amazing. It's fascinating. Wow. This is really good. Wow, this is even better than I thought. Holy. The woman with the issue of blood had suffered the condition for 12 years. 12 years of suffering, of bleeding. 12 years where she waited. And in an instant, at the touching of the garment, the bleeding stopped immediately. Precious. There was a woman, this is Luke 8:43. There was a woman who had a discharge of blood for 12 years. And though she had spent all her living on physicians, she could not be healed by anyone. She came up behind him and touched the fringe of his garment, and immediately her discharge of blood ceased. Jesus said, "Who is it that touched me?" When all denied it, Peter said, "Master, the crowds surround you and are pressing in on you." But Jesus said, "Someone touched me, for I perceive power has gone out from me." And when the woman saw that she was not hidden, she came trembling and falling down before him, declared in the presence of all people why she had touched him, and how she had been immediately healed. Jesus said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace." Incredible. Wow. I saw a vision of what that scene looked like as the Spirit was moving me to preach this. And the vision was that the woman could have said, "Oh no, there's a large crowd around Jesus. There's no way for me to get through." She could have just given up and continued, but it was her suffering that produced a faith within her. She had suffered all physical, emotional, financial investment into her health, and it still had not returned to her. So when her opportunity came, her faith reached out and touched the garment before she did. Truly, understand the mystery here. Her faith went out and touched the garment before she did. How do ideas form? How do we decide actions that we're going to do, steps we're going to take, our daily lives, our daily activities? We see it before we do it. We partake of it before it happens. We envision it. It was not the fact that she went up and touched the garment that healed her. It was the fact that her faith went before her and extended its hand. And the extension of her hand to the garment of Christ in a vision of faith is what healed her. Not the physical act of going up and doing it. It was the vision. And the vision gave her the strength, the perseverance, and the insight to say, I have to do whatever it takes to get through this crowd. Because if I do, I'll be healed. And that's all she needed. Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. We who are seated in the celestial place have not looked at the crowd. We have not looked at, although the crowd is there, we're aware of them. We see the crowd, but we're not looking at the crowd. We're looking at Jesus delivering us and healing us from the affliction. Dealing with the issue of blood. What's the issue of blood? The issue of blood is the blood covenant of Jezebel over the entire land, robbing and sapping every ounce of Christ's anointing, as if in a botched labor, as if having the issue of blood we're travailing over. And seeing what lies ahead for us when we grab onto His garment. Seeing that it's not the end but the beginning. Being able to go through the crowd easily. And obtain that which is rightfully ours. Amen. Wow. This is ministering to me in a very deep way. I mean, I don't even know that I can communicate the words, how precious this story is. This testimony. There's so much depth to it. Wow. How did she know touching His garment would heal her? How did she know? What did she see? What did she grab a hold of? Wow. Let's let that meditate and saturate into our being. So, my God.
Talk to you. He wants to get to know you. Do you remember when you felt his presence for the first time? And he's like wind, he's like rain, he's like fire, he's like He's the anointing, and some of you are needing a fresh filling. You're needing a touch from the Spirit. And He said, how much more will I give my Spirit? How much more I'll give my Spirit? I give generously. Are you hungry? Are you open? Do you believe? 'Cause all you have to have is hunger. All you have to be is open. All you have to do is believe in your heart. And He will come to you. He will come to you. He will touch you today. He will give you strength, renew your vision, renew your heart, your mind, bring clarity and understanding.